Yuki, I know exactly what you're doing. I know exactly what he's doing. I have to say, with episode 65 of Reincarnated Slime, thank you so much. Masayuki is seemingly a cool dude. For once, we get an otherworlder who's not like either like initially after Rimuru or just a complete psychopath. I love that Masayuki seems like a chill dude, and I really love that. But yes, I totally see what Yuki's doing here. I was kind of curious what exactly his next plan was. He was talking about that he had something lined up. He's got an idea, and it seems like everything around freeing the slaves and everything seems all to kind of point towards having Masayuki go to the forest. And what does that mean? I've been talking about this for several episode impressions, this idea that it keeps hinting at, specifically with Shion, how powerful she is, that she technically right now could kill Rimuru. Like, she has the capability of doing that, and she keeps getting stronger. She has an ability to overwrite his spells and his protections. She could kill him. And I kept kind of curious, like, okay, why do they keep pointing this out? It kind of makes me believe that there's an intention at some point to have her get controlled somehow, whether it be like that whole situation with that device that was supposedly supposed to be on Milim, or something like that. Something is going to take control of Shion. She's going to be corrupted somehow, and she's going to be a threat to Rimuru. This seems to lie. This seems to be at least implying that's the intent. And I'm curious just how much Yuki is working behind the scenes to get Masayuki there. And again, having everybody pretty much implying that this Masayuki is going to take down this demon lord, Rimuru. Again, I'm happy that Masayuki seems chill. He's like, he knows that Rimuru's a good guy. He's like, this guy seems to want to coexist and everything. So he's seemingly going to go in there with the mindset that I don't want to fight. But everybody obviously is chiming up this idea that he's going to have to fight him. But still, it's like, is that the intention of Yuki? Because technically, Masayuki is the biggest threat that could ever face Rimuru. Again, that's the intent. I don't think it's actually going to play out that way, but it could. My current mindset here is what Yuki wants to happen, and could technically happen, it's just going to be a stretch, is that Masayuki is going to go into the forest of Jura, and he's going to face off against, go into the town, to go to Tempest, and everybody's going to treat him like the hero. His ability makes people see him as a hero. Every action he takes, everything he does, he's the hero. But Yuki wouldn't send him there to fight Rimuru, because he has no actual fighting capability. like keep pointing out that Masayuki's like, I didn't do anything. I don't have any powers to do anything. That my ability just makes everybody love me. Everybody sees everything he does and sees his actions as praiseworthy of a hero. It's almost like he has a passive mind-washing ability. How does that affect Tempest? The moment he walks into Tempest, everybody sees him as a hero. They're already technically calling him the hero. He's known as Lightspeed Hero. The world knows him as the hero. That's why they were saying, I hate his name so much. Guard. He said his other name, Guard. I'm going to call him Guard from now on. Guard tells Rimuru, you don't want to fight Masayuki. You don't want to fight the hero right now. That's going to look really bad. You're going to have this big festival. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to fight the dude. He's like, I want to talk to him. Everybody else is getting ready. Shion's like, all right, let's go. This guy thinks he's going to take down the demon lord, going to touch Rimuru. Hell no. Everybody's getting ready to fight this guy. And Rimuru's like, no, look, chill. Nobody, do not talk to him. I'll handle it. And I think it's a good thing to say because, again, my expectation here is, and it might be what Yuki's expecting, is that the moment that Masayuki walks in there, everybody around Rimuru turns on him. They all see Masayuki as the hero and turn coat from Rimuru to Masayuki. Shion joins Masayuki. Benimaru joins Masayuki. Everybody becomes his ally, and that becomes a danger to Rimuru. Now, the question mark is how in this plan that Yuki might have, that I'm presuming he has, that pretty much because everybody around Rimuru is so powerful, they could easily destroy him. How does Yuki get Masayuki to turn on Rimuru? Masayuki's going in there with the intention that I want to bring all these slaves there and let them be there, and that he doesn't really think that Rimuru's a bad guy. How does it turn to Masayuki now fighting Rimuru? Besides maybe the expectation that everybody has that he should fight him. And I thought that was going to be the case until Masayuki told his partners, no, he's a good guy, I want to talk to him. They all accepted that. So there is the idea here that despite the fact that everybody had the presumption that he's going to go there to defeat the Demon Lord, he was able to change people's mind just by simply saying something. So he has control of the narrative. It gets swapped away from him, but he does have the control of the narrative to say, I don't want to fight Rimuru. And then everybody goes, okay, good. You're such a cool guy. You don't want to actually fight him. You're a cool guy. You're the hero, whatever you say. So he could go in there and technically say, despite the fact that everybody's like, he's here to defeat the Demon Lord, obviously, he's able to say, no, I don't want to do that. That's not my intention. But I think that's what's going to possibly cause an initial conflict, is that the moment that he gets in there, everybody's going to have the assumption that he's there to defeat Rimuru. Like, even the townsfolk, even though they enjoy Tempest, they're going to see him and immediately go, the hero's here to, what does he want to do? He wants to defeat Rimuru? Well, great. He's the hero. He obviously knows that something's bad here, and they immediately get brainwashed into thinking that this is what needs to happen. So I'll be curious how that plays out, but that's my assumption, is that if Yuki is behind the scenes working on this, his intention is to have Masayuki make everybody that is allied to Rimuru turncoat and use that power to defeat Rimuru, rather than expecting that Masayuki himself can defeat Rimuru. So we'll see. But yeah, I love this episode though. Like I said, I like the fact that Masayuki was a cool dude, and like opening up, showing like how he initially got isekai. He's just walking through town and then suddenly somebody passes him by. And for a minute there, I was like, wait, who's that girl? My thought was that they were having like somebody in his other world, and that was going to be somebody that was transporting people. But no, it was somebody that walked by as the transportation happened. So it was an interesting transition that kind of threw me through a loop for a second. I'm like, wait, who's that person? But anyways, yeah, like I said, really interesting to kind of see. It was a funny bit. I actually enjoyed it. I felt like it dragged out a little bit too long, but I like the joke of the idea of this person being pretty much the hero that didn't intend to be the hero. Like, his abilities, he did something cool initially. He was shielding somebody. He was protecting that lady, which was awesome. That was cool. That was the reason why he got that title. It was a deserved title. He was going to sacrifice himself to protect somebody. And sure enough, he gets the ability and then starts getting all these other abilities. Everything he does literally makes everybody fall in love with him, make him think that he's the hero. His actions garner praise from everybody. Everybody's into him, thinks he's the greatest person ever. And then, like I said, talking to Yuki, and Yuki's like, yeah, you have a really powerful ability. And he's like, I'm not powerful. It's just the ability does that. Yeah, but it's a really cool ability. Everybody loves you. Again, Yuki knows he's going to use that. But yeah, we finally got answers to what happened with the whole slave trade, which was something they kind of hinted at before. They wanted to take that down. Sure enough, this seems to be the case. Again, Yuki sending him to take down that trade. And again, that all kind of leading to, at least all the people that it seemed like they were implying before have not been able to return home yet, was because they were locked up in this whole trade. And now they're able to finally go home. Masayuki is actually bringing them home. They don't have the necessity to go out there and save them. They're already coming. I like how it got to the town and they're like, oh my God, we got another problem. I can't deal with all these people. You got to send them back home, but we can't because then they're going to think that we're bad people. Can you bring them back home? And it cuts to the town and there's all these gorgeous elves out there. And it's like, that seems like okay. That seems like it's okay. But they want to go home. They wanted to go home. The whole bit with him walking into that one place and discovering the slave trade deal was just so dumb. Oh, hero, you got here. We had a great guard outside. He's like, there's no guards out here. What are you talking about? Oh, you must have defeated him. Well, this is a troublesome thing. Like, double crosses his friend. Hey, he killed him. Oh, I revived him. Don't worry. That whole bit there was that was great. I love that whole bit. Again, Masayuki's kind of just a cool dude. He's just kind of stumbling in the whole situation. It's kind of sad. For once, having like an OP ability where everybody falls in love with the character is actually warranted because they're not a bad person. But yeah, cool little bit. The beginning part sucked. I kind of skipped ahead, but yeah, the beginning part was just another meeting. The beginning part, I think, besides the whole bit where they did bring up Ranga has this fox that he's been kind of building up. It's finally developed and it's ready to do something on its own. They need bosses because apparently the miasma, whatever, the magicals have been too heavy that all the forest has pretty much overgrown and absorbed it. So before the monsters can grow, the forest overtook it all. So they need bosses. They don't have bosses for their entire event. So, we'll have this fox handle it. So he names the fox. Apparently the fox is so powerful, it took way more magicals to enable to give it a name than normal. So we'll see how. I don't know, I'm assuming that it's going to transform into a cute fox girl. We'll get to see that in a minute, hopefully. But yeah, the beginning part was kind of one of those cases that I've talked about before where I don't mind meetings. I love the meetings whenever it's about world building, it's about politics, it's about really kind of getting into the characters and stuff like that. But this is kind of an example of the worst meetings where it's just talking about what we've done and talking about what we're going to do. I really don't like those meetings, and they keep doing it, and every time it comes up, I'm like, it's always like a toss-up. Every time the meeting room comes up, it's always like, okay, random number generator, are we going to just recap everything and then talk about things to come, or are we going to get into something interesting here? It had a little bit, like I said, with the whole Mystic Fox thing coming out of nowhere, but other than that, it was just mostly, this is what's coming up. And then we literally get to see what's coming up. So that's always kind of a bother for me, but it wasn't that bad. At least it only took up like a third of the episode. But yeah, anyhow, I'm sorry. Most of this video is literally me talking about prediction for the next episode. But again, I did like Masayuki. I think he was a great character. I hope that he remains positive and not corrupted. But I kind of do wonder if it's going to turn more into a frustrating aspect of him sort of getting swept into having to fight Rimuru, similar to what happened to Hina. I hope that they do something different. I really do hope they do something different. And yeah, even though I do have predictions that the intention is for him to take over Rimuru's people and turn those on Rimuru, I don't know that he's going to. Like it almost goes, like that almost goes in that realm that I was talking about before, why Shion can't get taken over, and that's more the fact of it ruins that lore that Shion is fully devoted to Rimuru. And the moment that she can get corrupted and overtaken, it sort of creates this narrative that Shion is not faithful to Rimuru, and it's always kind of one of those difficulties I think that a lot of writers get into about breaking that mystique that a character is fully devoted. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe she might end up becoming a massive Masayuki fan. Anyhow, looking for the next episode. The next episode was titled Digression Luminous Memories. I hope that's my Luminous. I hope to all goodness that we get an episode of Luminous because I love Luminous and I want more Luminous. Competing best girl Milim, we got like a brief split second this episode, so hopefully we can get the two best girls back in here and actually have them on screen more than 2 seconds. Anyhow, that's my thoughts on episode 65 of Reincarnated Slime. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit that like button down below, comment, let me know about the episode. If you know the source material, I'm not here asking for answers. I'm just having fun speculating, so you don't have to type anything down there. If you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, so thanks for membership button down below. Greatly appreciate it if it does. Until next time, y'all take care.